Power play of sorts today at the Supreme Court. The nation's highest court has given broad powers to the Oval Office when it comes to heads of federal agencies.
Fox 4 Shaun Rabb breaks it down for us in studio, along with some other opinions from the justices today. Shaun.
Yeah, there were 4 Supreme Court rulings today, and let me tell you that the biggest of all of these, well, it has to do with expanding executive power, giving the sitting president authority to fire heads of federal agencies at will.
Having that power confirmed is something that a lot of presidents wish they could have had. And so that's a pretty substantial win.
President Donald Trump winning more power for the presidency as the Supreme Court ruling by a 6-3 vote struck down a federal law that prevented a president from firing members of the Federal Trade Commission except for specific reasons. The case at hand involved FTC Commissioner Rebecca Slaughter, fired because her policy positions conflicted with Trump administration agenda. A ruling that applies now to more than 24 agencies Congress intended to be independent.
It gives me the right, and not me, it gives a president the right to do what the president should have the right to do. And it's very interesting. It's a big ruling. It's been going on for almost 100 years.
Independent institutions are a cornerstone of a healthy democracy.
Jennifer Jones is the director of the Center for Science and Democracy, who works to make sure government decisions are informed with the best possible science and evidence and without political interference. Jones does not like this decision.
So what this decision really does is concentrate power further in the executive branch with the president, and it really will weaken accountability of institutions.
But the court did not give the Oval Office all power. By a 5-4 decision, the justices said the president still cannot fire or remove a federal governor from their term at the Federal Reserve.
It has a different interrelationship with financial markets. Congress has set it up in a very different way. And as a result, you can still remove somebody for cause. It makes sense, right? You don't want to have just anybody running the Federal Reserve, but you got to dot your I's and cross your T's. The president can't just wave a wand and remove someone from that particular set of positions.
Governor Lisa Cook at the center of that case. The president tried to remove her, accusing her of mortgage fraud before she became a federal governor. She's denied and has sued, challenging Mr. Trump. The court said she could continue to work while the lawsuit plays out. The high court also said yes to mail-in ballots and no to the president and Republicans wanting to end a grace period for counting ballots after Election Day in a Mississippi case. The president saying the workaround is for Congress to pass the Save America Act.
Voter ID with photo, ideally, but voter ID, proof of citizenship, and no mail-in ballots, which is, to my way of thinking, maybe the most important of all because it's so corrupt.
Now, the Supreme Court didn't bother to get involved in the president's legal argument that he shouldn't have to pay $5 million to E. Jean Carroll. Lower courts have upheld he sexually assaulted her in the 90s and then defamed her character in his denial. Here's a footnote for you. No ruling today on birthright citizenship. Tomorrow is the last day of the court's term, and a lot of people expecting it then. And to answer the question, if parents are undocumented, illegal in America, if a child is born here, are they an American citizen? Should be a big day, Tuesday, at the court.